Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Like I say, I apologise for the long delay of coming on here. I just blame the technical issues, to be honest with you. I really do. You can't always trust technology, can you, nowadays? So there we are. Welcome back to another kind of show that we're going to be doing tonight. Really exciting one as we build up, to the massive game on Sunday, the playoff final. The biggest game of them all. It really is. But we're going to be covering a few things this evening. Like I said, we've got a special guest on this evening. We've got James coming on again, which he joined me in the last one, and it was an absolute joy. And yeah, we're going to touch upon obviously the second leg quickly, because when I last spoke to James, it was actually, it was just before the it was just before the second leg. So yeah, I want to hear his thoughts on that. And yeah, we'll cover a load of things for Huddersfield Town, but then obviously lastly we'll really focus on the big game on Sunday. So yeah, without further ado, I would like to welcome onto the stream Jim. Welcome. Hi. How are you? How's everything?
Everything's good. Long day at work. The week is dragging. It is a long week.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. I've actually got the week off, so it's actually all right for me. But yeah, I feel yeah.
Yeah. I've got the week off after, hopefully, to recover from a good day out.
Oh right, yeah, that's good. That's good. I love it. Your volume is going a bit. Oh, it's all right now. Sorry, it's just been a bit dodgy. Can I join? Tom says. Well, I'm going to allow you to come on shortly. Yes, for sure. We're just going to kind of cover a few things first of all, and then yeah, you can come on. I'll get the link in the chat actually in a minute, so anybody that wants to come on can do. But you do have to have your camera on, people. I'm not, I'm not being funny, but you just do. I'm not taking, you know how it is. Good evening. Hello, Coach's Corner. Hanno, welcome on in. Thank you for being here. You can't decide who I want to win as a neutral. The European champions are my friend Ryan's team. Come on, you've got to side with me, please.
I'll make the decision for you, Huddersfield.
Absolutely, but that shouldn't even be a hard decision, Hanno. I'm very disappointed in you. No, yeah, like I say, just can I? Yeah, you can join shortly. Like I say, we'll get you on in a bit. Do you wear? Yes, actually, I wear it most days, and why not? Because the best team ever. Like I say, I'm the biggest. I'm such a big fan, and yeah, they come for these shirts as well. So why not? But yeah, I'm just positive. But anyway, let's get going. Right. Okay. So yeah, here we are. A fairy tale season is my first topic of conversation here, and it really has. I'm just going to touch upon that. It keeps making weird noises. I'm not being funny, but it is. I'm just letting you know. So I'm not sure what's going on at your end, but yeah. I mean, it really has been fairy tale season. Like I say, I can't actually believe that we're literally this close to getting back to Premier League. I really can't. It just feels like a dream. So all of a sudden. I mean, yeah, so that kind of banner, I was going to cover something, but I've actually forgotten what I want to cover. Anyway, I think it was tied into the next few. I want to cover this game because obviously we haven't actually had a chance to speak, actually, have we, about this one together. Yeah, obviously the way the second leg panned out, I mean, it kind of panned out the way I didn't want it to, it kind of, I was hoping for an early goal to settle those nerves. But unfortunately, like I say, in that first half, we really did struggle. We really did. It was so laboured, so slow. Lack of idea. It really was poor, really. And obviously, Luton had the best of that half for sure. So the second half, we improved. We came into the game. And yeah, we did come into the game and we started creating chances. But yeah, your thoughts on that? Can it kind of give me a summary of your thoughts overall on the second leg? Like, as the caption kind of says, do you believe we will deserve it in the end?
I was happy half-time came when it did.
Yeah.
I think we were. If it had been an extra 5-10 minutes at half, I reckon we'd have seen the pressure break eventually. So the half-time came well when we needed it. Yeah, I think we all knew when Sorba was coming on. He immediately came on Menji. He wasn't phased by the occasion. He wasn't phased by the pressure the team was under. He came in and he did what we've seen 9 out of 10 times this season. Lots of energy, trying to make something happen, and fortunately, even though he didn't have much time to make an impact, he used his time well.
Absolutely, it really did. And like I say, how can we not? How can we not talk about the goal that we scored there? I mean, what a delivery in by Sorba. But let's talk about Rhodes because this was incredible. It really was as well. The technique, the skill, that the strike, the real precision in this shot, in this shot as well. Right in the. It was actually in the side end of the corner, not actually the corner. So the goalkeeper had absolutely no chance. But wow, it couldn't have happened to a better person because you know what, John Rhodes is a professional on and off the pitch, and yeah, he just comes across such a lovely person, and yeah, he's a legend at this football club, and I'm really happy to see him back. But of course, we have to cover this. He had his critics at the start. When we kind of found out that he was coming back, people were saying, he's past it. He's not going to do much for us. He's not the same player as what he was when he was with his first spell. But you know what? You never lose your quality, do you? And he's proved people wrong.
I think a lot of pundits have said he's a very good natural finisher, and it's true. Like he hasn't had many opportunities this season, but
Yeah,
especially the last couple months, he feels like when he gets the opportunity, like at the start of the season when I saw him or Campbell come on for Ward, especially when Ward was going through like his bright patch, it was like why? Whereas now when Rhodes comes on, it doesn't feel like. And he's also improved on his pressing game, I'd say, in the run to the playoffs. Like he seems to have found the energy. Obviously, he's worked his injury off. So it's now. I didn't think we'd be in this position, but do you start Rhodes in the final, or do you start? I think maybe start Ward, and then Rhodes will come on in the last 20 minutes if the game isn't sewn up. It's another question now going to the final, adding to the centre back choice, which whenever you come up, the right back choice, the left wing choice, and
yeah,
a good
yeah.
place to be. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, absolutely is a good place to be. And like I say, it's one of those. I wouldn't be unhappy to see Rhodes start, and I wouldn't be unhappy to see one. It's one of those. I'm not. They'll both really do a job for you. But I think if Ward is fit, I mean, it's a shame, in the system that we play, it's a shame they can't play together because I think they'll complement each other very well. But obviously, the formation that we play just doesn't allow that, unfortunately.
Maybe we'll see it because how many times have we seen it this season? Carlos wants to switch to a two up front if we're under a lot of pressure to give out balls and an easy goal. So if Forest put us under pressure, which I think that's the expectation, then there's no reason why Ward and Rhodes couldn't go up with Sorbra and maybe Andrew or Holmes dropping a bit deeper on the left.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll just kind of have to see about that. But yeah, I mean, when we scored that goal, though, the time from then until the final whistle felt like forever. Don't you agree? I mean, I couldn't keep still. I was biting my nails. I was just so nervous when that whistle went. Absolutely elation. It really was. But yeah,
About because I was watching on the TV about 3 minutes before the goal, my younger brother came in, who's not so much a football fan, but he wants to see me miserable. So he came in and was like, "Ha, look, Huddersfield bad." And as soon as he said that, the free kick got given and it went in, and he just left the room. I was like, thank you, Rhodes, thank you."
absolutely. And like I said, the celebration really did begin when when that final whistle went, and we saw out the game really well, and yeah, it was quite emotional actually, to be fair, because it means so much to us as a football club. It means so much to me. It means so much to you. It means so much to everybody, isn't it? And to get to the final, we never expected it, but it's just truly remarkable. What I'm going to get. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I was more. I reckon I was more nervous in the build up to that second leg than I am the final because the way I'm looking at the final now, it's like, okay, we win, great, Premier League, but I don't feel like last time, I felt if we lost, that was going to be it. Whereas this time, I feel if we don't lose, not much is going to change within the club to say we can't push for a playoff again next year or even higher.
Yeah, of
But
course.
but you wanted the day out. You want that Wembley day out, and that's what I was nervous about.
Yeah, you do, and I don't agree with that. Because I think this final, it does matter because we want to get back to the Premier League. Let's be honest, we do because we're so close now, even closer than what we was before. Obviously, when you obviously in the semi-final, you are close, but when you get to the final, you're even closer. So
Do you find it irritating when you see fans on Twitter saying they want to win without the prize? Because personally, as a young fan, I want to see us in the Prem.
yeah,
Because then
yeah,
because when you're in the Prem, there's the hope of, well, maybe we could be the next Leicester. Who knows? Like, you look at what Burnley did in their second season; they got a European run. I
yeah.
know, obviously, they're maybe not the best club to compare to because they're going down now, but you never know. And I would much rather have, I think I said this last time, a relegation fight in the Premier League than a relegation fight in the Championship.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah, so not sure why people are saying that, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, we've got two guests that are going to be joining us to cover a few things that we've got on the agenda this evening. We're going to move away from that second leg now. We're going to talk about player stats in a moment, but I'm just going to get my guests on now. A few more guests. Welcome on in, Tom. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's great for you to be here. Hi, how are you doing?
Knackered from work and in pain with. I went to lift the box up at work today and my back just went.
Yeah, yeah. Oh dear.
But apart from that, I'm fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you on as always. You're always welcome on here. And we're going to get another guest in, my good friend Hannah, who I feel lucky to have met on YouTube. But yeah, hello, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you for being here. As always, it's great to speak. I love having you on the channel. You're great to speak to, and you can see you're very knowledgeable about football. So I'm happy for you to be here. But yeah, we're gonna get into player stats here. Actually, we're just gonna kind of. You're being a bit harsh. You're being a bit harsh here. I'm just supporting my football club, and I believe But yeah, anyway, predictions where Huddersfield will place in the EPL table when they get right. We're going to answer that in a second, actually. And you are feeling very confident in the Other Time podcast, and I love it. But we
like that.
We do like that positive. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a preview of that, and then we're going to answer that question in a moment. But yeah, thank you for asking that. But we will. But yeah, I want to talk about play stats, but I want to talk about the record that we've had this season. The improvement that we've seen this season compared to last, right? Obviously, we've won 23, drawn 13, and lost 10, 82 points. Like I say, finishing third in the championship. Our kind of home record was outstanding, but our away record, really did improve this season as well. Goals, which is an important one. I want to touch upon this. We've scored 64 goals this season compared to 50 last season, which again, that massive 14 goals is a big jump up. That I wish that noise would stop putting me off. But yeah, anyway, we've conceded 47 this season actually, which is really impressive actually compared to 71 last season, which you can see the big contrast. Apart from recruitment, I'm just going to kind of open the table to anybody that wants to answer this. Apart from most of the recruitment, what do you put this improvement, the massive improvement that we've seen, from 20th place that we finished last season to third now? What kind of factors are you kind of putting into why we've done so well this season?
For me, set pieces, because from the last 10 years watching Huddersfield set pieces, it's always been a case of oh well, this goes in great, but it was a bit of hope. Whereas now you feel almost certain that if we can get 5 corners in a game, one of them's going to go in somewhere, or a free kick from the side. It's I think having such a clinical set piece, it's almost like having an extra goal scorer or an extra striker in itself. You can have a 20 goal a season striker, but we've got 20 goals on corners. It is like having a striker in itself. And then when you add that to the fact we've got Danny Ward, who's done a decent job as a striker with, 14, 15 goals. You've got the wing backs contributing. You've got the wingers contributing themselves. The defenders, I think they've all got on average 3 or 4 goals each across the line. So you add that set piece in, it's like having an extra weapon to use in the arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that do you think the fans have made, obviously being back this season, I think that's made a massive difference, hasn't it, to football,
I do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tom, I want to kind of ask you the same question about this. What do you see the improvements this season? What do you put it down? I mean, there's loads of factors of why a team can, go from 20th to third. But what kind of a few things that you can kind of pinpoint in your mind that's been a vast improvement this season? And what do you put this improvement down to? You know what I mean? Just the same question I kind of asked James.
I think it's set pieces and Saba. I think he's changed us massively. Set pieces, Saba, and I read the other day an examiner Carlos in the summer changed the style.
Yeah.
And I think it's worked, but set pieces more than anything. We're just dangerous at set pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hannah, have you kind of watched much of us this season at all? Or what? I don't want to exclude you from the chat kind of thing, but is there anything kind of because obviously you've kind of read the stats out to you. The vast improvement, isn't it? And it's very impressive as well, by the way. I'm not being biased, but it is.
20 goals from set pieces. Congratulations. Chelsea can't even get 2.
Yeah.
Felipe Mason Mount can't cross the ball past the first post.
Absolutely. But it's a massive weapon to have, isn't it? It's a big thing to have, in your team.
But I think Levi Colwell has done I watched the first half of the second leg, and Levi Colwell get the blocks that he made for Huddersfield in that game was excellent. And you see him go forward, and when there is set pieces, every time you see him, and I think Levi Cole has made a difference to you guys at set pieces wise. Nice. Yeah. And has Tino entered and he's had with you guys? What Chelsea?
Well, he like I say, when he came to the club, he wasn't actually fit, so it took him a while to get up to speed. We've kind of seen him a lot more recently. I mean, yeah, he's not really done much, but he's someone that's kind of obviously finding his feet again. But I mean, he's improved since we first saw it, kind of, because he's had a few substitute appearances, but then he's also, and then kind of, as we've seen him more and more. Yeah.
He'll be our secret weapon Sunday, because I reckon Forest probably won't have even factored him into their plans. Yeah. He'll come on in the 70th minute and just run it wild.
I think his best performance was at Coventry when he came off bench, was Timo's.
Yeah, that's where we saw him. We thought, hang on a minute, he's really, he's really landed in Huddersfield now. He really has, and yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, like I said,
I'd take him back next season if we're in the Championship, personally.
Yeah,
you're not getting. He's staying with Chelsea. I'm not getting.
And talking about, I hope if we do go up, we can get another season out of Levi. Like maybe Chelsea want him to have a Premier League season at a relegation battle, or even maybe get him permanently on the side. Slide a bit of cash across.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love Levi. You can come back next season. We welcome you in. Don't you worry.
No.
And
Chelsea, let's Levi with you for another season. Oh, my.
But on a serious note, Hannah, do you think that Levi Colwell will be a big part of Chelsea's plan next season, or do you think he should go out on loan again and get a bit of experience still?
I know he's young, but we are not. We need we need players, centre backs. We need defenders, and no. You can get Pulisic on a free. We won't give you. You can get Ross Barkley.
I'll take Pulisic.
Ross Barkley, and then you can get Pulisic on a free. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, deal. We've got it. We've got it in the bag.
Or maybe you can even take Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah. Well, really, to be honest with you, though, Chelsea have been kind to us over the years with the players they've actually given it, on loan. So yeah, we love Chelsea at Huddersfield because they really helped us, push ourselves. These players that have come in. Really
also, special ground for us that first Premier League season, the platform, getting that special crucial goal.
Of course. Of course.
Oh, that night, one of the best nights of my life when we stayed up at Stamford Bridge.
I've got the picture for it. You know, one of the they had kind of a limited edition for it. You know, that goal, you know, the Poacher scored at Stamford Bridge on my wall in the room. And
The thing is, that night at Chelsea, I didn't get home till like 5 a.m. and I started work at 8 a.m.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You are making me laugh. You really are. Yeah, you're absolutely brilliant. So, yeah. Oh God, I'm gonna have to compose something. I want to cover player stats, and I mean, obviously, we've seen that. You know, at Huddersfield, obviously, we haven't had a player, you know, a striker that can get over 20 goals. But what we have had is we've had everyone chipping in across the whole team. Like you say, James, we've seen defenders score. You know, they've got a couple of goals each between them. You know, the midfield are chipping in with goals as well, and you know, it's all being shared around the team. That's a massive, massive thing to have as well. I mean, Harry Toffolo as well. I want to touch. Well, let's talk about Lee Nichols first of all, because we've spoken about Lee Nichols so many times, but we'll never get bored of speaking about him because, you know, I just can't believe, you know, obviously, 19 this season.
How has he not made the England team, but the West Brom keeper has? Absolutely. Was it? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. What does Lee Nichols have to do to?
I mean, how's Pickford in there? I just don't get it.
Well, Pickford's always going to be in, but I just believe that, you know, someone like the West Brom keeper, he shouldn't be in there. You know, Nichols should.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very because to be fair to Pickford, without Pickford, Everton would be down. I believe that because
I do as well.
The season, you know, he's the reason they've stayed up partly. He really is. But yeah, so obviously Harry Toffolo kind of chipping in with 6 goals this season, but also 8 assists. But I think Harry Toffolo has really come on this season. You know, I think he's really improved his defensive duties, but he's also really improved going forward. What is everybody's thoughts about that?
I think you've got to put him in the same band as O'Brien now. I think the level of performance you see from him week in, week out, like I would not be surprised if we don't go up. He goes to somewhere like Southampton or Crystal Palace, you know, a sort of a comfortable Premier League side that needs, like, he's become class, especially the last few months. It's so good seeing these players hit this like ultimate run of form, running into these big finals. But yeah, for me, Toffolo is like, if you were to go power rankings, he's in our top 5 players. He's in that band of like, he's ready for the Prem. If we got promoted, he's not a position I think, oh, that's somewhere we could probably strengthen or try again. He's ready, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, what do you think about it? What have you thought of Harry this season, and how impressed have you been with him?
Toffolo's been immense. He's been one of my favourite players this year. He's fought attacking every time he goes forward. I expect him to score. But in first part season, I think just as he came back from having COVID, he started a bit shaky, but he has got better.
Yeah.
Every time we attack now, I mean, on Sunday, I've already know what my score prediction is.
We'll go on to that. Yeah.
I expect Toffolo to score every time he plays.
Of course. He's in that form as well, into the form of his life.
He reminds me of Ben Chilwell at us when he was on loan at us a bit.
Yeah, of course, yeah, the impact, yeah. But I think, you know, I've really liked Harry Toffolo even more than Chilwell. But yeah, same kind of thing. Hello, Don, welcome on and thank you for coming in. I really appreciate you being here. Right, I've missed a comment. This is why I love being in the chat. Yeah, of course. It's great to have a good laugh. You know, it's great to have, you know, it really is. But yeah, like I say, I need to keep my composure as host. They need a T-Rex sound going like Pickford in the England squad, even though there's better goals. Oh God!
He did a job at the Euros, you know. So fair play to him, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think when Nichols gets his chance in the Prem, hopefully with us next season, there'll be no excuse why he can't get in.
Yeah, that absolutely. But yeah, I'm going to cover some more stats here, by the way, guys, because yeah, we just keep. Yeah, Danny Ward. I mean, what a season Danny Ward's had, because, you know, 14 goals this season, and you know, it's played 39 times. Like I say, he's managed to keep fit reasonably, which is important because Danny has had his injury issues over the years, but he's managed to keep that fitness up. And like I say, he's added in with a few assists as well. So, I mean, what do you put that? Because Danny Ward seems like he's really put the work in again in the summer, and really come back stronger this season. I mean, he really has. But I mean, he did start off slow this season, to be fair. But then, it only takes a goal to kickstart that kind of,
I hold my hand up. I hold my hand up because last year I slagged him off quite a lot on Twitter, saying that he needs to go. I hold my hand up and apologises.
I'm exactly the same. I didn't say much on Twitter, but with my friends, like, he got injured, what was it, 4 times last season? I thought, what is this? But he's had the season of his career, like, statistically wise.
I think he's put a lot of muscle on as well. I think that's what he needed to do.
I also think he's changed his game a bit. He and also it's like people said, the service with Sorba and Sanani's improved, so he's getting those opportunities and he's taking them.
Massively,
it's like it's hard to pin it down to exactly what it is. It's just like everything's clicked to a point.
Yeah, of course. But like I say, I'm really happy to see he's kind of turned that around. And he's been a vital part of this season, as we all know. And it's great to see him, back to his best. Really, it really is.
I mean, I think at the end of this season, he's got a year left. I'd give him another 2 years.
I mean, it's one of those instances. He deserves a new contract for sure. Like most of these players do, to be honest with you.
I would say, on regards to that though, if we get promoted, I don't think he'd do it again. Hopefully, he proves me wrong. I don't think he'd do it again in the Prem. I think he'd be a good backup striker for cup runs and that. We need someone else to come in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A bit more clinical.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, to be honest with you, James. I really do understand. And I think that we all know that, if we do go, like I say, a striker is definitely a must. And I kind of said that, in one of my other streams, kind of thing that I've been doing. I mean, let's talk about Sanani. Obviously, obviously coming from Norwich on loan. He's really contributed this season. He really has, and obviously getting 6 goals and a couple of assists as well into his name this season. I mean, what's anybody's thoughts about Sanani this season? I mean, I just think he's been fantastic. He really has.
I really like him, and I don't understand why people are so hesitant. Like, the first game I attended this season was the Everton Cup game where he made his debut, and I know there was a couple of stray balls. I thought there's something here that's he seemed like the first player to come in that was able to unlock defences and create space. And I know he has his off days, but it's a championship. He's a championship standard player. So there's a reason they're not playing in the Prem. They're going to have their off days. It's his first season at, professional football. He's a bit like Colwell. He's here to learn. That's why he was loaned to us. But when he's on it, he's easily, like, on his good day, you want him in the start 11. He's a good backup for set pieces. He can find a goal. Like, he's our second goal top scorer, I think. And he just seems able to find spaces or force defence to create space for us. So, I think if we were in the Championship again, he's definitely someone to try and buy. If we're in the Prem, he might be a good super sub. Or we can loan him out to get more experience, because I think there is a player. If we could get that consistency more often, there's a good player in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tom, what? Hello.
Who?
Sanani, Daniel Sanani. He came from Norwich on loan. Tom, what have you made of him this season? Obviously,
I think his class has improved. It's just frustrating when he gets the ball. He doesn't always pass. He tries to run with it himself. But apart from that, I think he's been a lone player that I've kind of fallen in love with. I know you shouldn't fall in love with lone players, should you?
No, of course, because if they go, then you really kind of heartbroken, aren't you? I mean, Hannah, have you kind of seen much of us play this season, then, by the way, or have you kind of not really,
Of Danny?
No, of our team as a whole. Because, like I say, if you want to chip in, feel free to do so. I don't want to.
I haven't seen much, but what I've heard from you and some of the other championship people that watch the championship. You guys have just been overall. You have just been good, and there was some bad patches, but at the end of the season, you guys stuck through, and you just went on a run, a great run, and you won. And if it was according to the league table, you should actually win versus Nottingham Forest because you're third, and then the top
Yeah.
three championship go through. But yeah, you guys have just been in the beginning. I have to say, what I have heard, you guys won the base is at the beginning. Can just say if I am wrong or something, but this is what I can remember. You guys weren't the best, but you were okay-ish. And then probably from November on, you guys went on into third, fourth gear and just steamrolled the championship. And
You're right. We did have a slow start. I remember, like, we got a point at Derby, and at the time, because of the situation with Derby, we thought that was a failure in a way. And then we had the Fulham result. But looking back at now, a point at Derby is actually a good result when you look at the context of the season.
Yeah.
And Fulham, 5-1, we got off all right there. We see what they did to Blackburn, and they proper steamroll team, especially as we had half the team out with COVID. So,
And we did have Scorfield in there as well.
yeah,
Wasn't the best.
but it's like you say, we don't have an obvious weakness. I would say, like, we're not the worst defense, we're not the worst attack. Like, everything we do is to a good level. Like, there's no, when you look at other teams, you could go, oh, they hit the post too many times, like in Fulham's case, or like if you want to be picky, there isn't an obvious weakness at Huddersfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, yeah, we did start off slow, but we've just got better and better, kind of, and really, it's just been fantastic, really. So yeah, and it's so hard to kind of pick players out of the season, by the way, because there's so many star performers. Every single player has made a kind of an impact. But we have to talk about Jonathan Russell because, like I say, this guy has come in, really late. Obviously, he's kind of come onto the scene in the first team, really late, obviously January time, and the impact he's made since then till now has been truly remarkable. And he is a player that it's like he's been in that team years. That's the way he plays. But the reality is he hasn't had any experience of men's senior football here, and yeah, like I say, he's chipped in with 2 goals, which is no mean feat, in a league like the Championship. But the overall play, he's eye for a pass. He just oozes that class. He really does. But yeah, anyway, what has your thoughts been on Russell this season and kind of how far?
I love him. He's come out of nowhere. Like, I know the first half of the season there was a lot of rotation in his positions. It's Scott Hyde coming out. Holmes and O'Brien were trying to play there. And I kept an eye on B team results, but obviously you don't really see much of the games. And I know Russell's name was a constant coming out. I saw people saying, "Oh, is he going to get a go?" And he had his cup game. It's like, okay, yeah. But as he's come in now, it's hard to imagine our team functioning without him in that spot, which is weird because we did. And it just shows the depth. It just shows the depth we've got, really. And fair play to the academy. Like, I know they made changes a couple of years ago. I didn't expect to see rewards this quickly. So well done to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, what have you kind of made of him this season, and kind of how far do you think he can go? I really do think that he's a player that has that natural talent, and he's grasped. I'm sure you'll agree. When he's got the opportunity, he's really well and truly took it. Similar with Sorba's kind of impact into the team, how he kind of got into the team as well.
Russell is class. I mean, he may not be the quickest, but he's... Sorry about that. It's just my mum ringing me. He may not be the quickest, but he's strong on the ball. His upper body, I think it was against, I can't remember who it was, QPR at home, that pass for Toffolo's goal to set Turton away, outright.
Yeah,
I mean, he's class. He's gonna go on. He's gonna have a big future. He reminds me of Yaya Toure a bit.
Yeah, that presence, yeah, for sure. I can see that. I really can actually now you've said it.
I think he's going to become like a Jonathan Hogg figure. He just has a presence. I reckon once he has a bit more experience, he'll have a great ability to command a line. Keep it calm, keep the pressure. And I think working. Obviously, we love Hogg, but he has probably only got maybe 1 or 2 years left in him before he drops out of the picture. Russell is a ready-made natural replacement, and that's great because they can, provided we're in a competitive position to keep them on. Bring it! I can't wait to see more of them.
Yeah,
I mean, he does. He sits in a bit near defence as well. Does Russell a bit?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's one of those that But like I said, I think he's learning a lot from Hogg. By the way, being a lot, he's been in and around Hogg. He's a great kind of role model to kind of learn with, and really develop. I mean, we're going to move on in a moment, I promise you. But there's just so many players that have really performed. I mean, I don't like leaving anybody out. I mean, we've got to talk about the defence. I mean, the recruitment of the defence. We all knew, at the back end of last season, we knew that we really needed to sort our defence out well and truly, because the goals, like I said, conceding 71 goals, it was shocking. It really was. So we knew we had to have a big overhaul here. And obviously we've got the likes of, Matty Pearson and Tom Lees. Now let's talk about these two because, again, it's like the kind of similar kind of theme going on here. A lot of people doubted these kind of players when they came in, but they've proved people wrong in every single way because the impact they've had, the experience they've got, though, by the way, and the, like I say, Matty Pearson's not the quickest, but he knows how to position himself. He knows where to be. He knows the game. He knows the game. He's very clever defender, and he's using, playing to his strength. I mean, how have you kind of? They've just been outstanding, haven't they? This season.
Matty Pearson makes me feel safe, and I would just I'd like him just to hold me in his arms. He makes me feel safe. But he also he's a very typical robust defender. He looks like the sort of person that would just fight you for misplaying a pass, which that's the confidence you want from a defender, that aggression, because players don't want to take him on because he won't give you that space. He will very happily stand there and let you run and into him, bounce off him, then shy away. And again, when his signings came in, I was nervous, and I think I was more nervous because Schindler left, and Schindler was a rock for us in defence, and it was like letting Schindler go for me felt like a giving away of ambition. I was like, okay, but fair play. And all 4 defenders, because we're going to include Colwill as an addition and Sarr. Sarr feels like a new player this year. Like he looks head and shoulders above what we got last year. Colwill is exciting to watch. I'm debating going to that England under-21 game just to get another chance to see Colwill in case he does go. All 4 of those players just make me feel safe as like the team. And when your back line is like that, you can watching that first half against Luton just feels a bit more secure because I trust these guys to see it out. It may not be pretty, but it works.
Yeah, course. I mean, like the defensive side of things has been outside. Like I said, the likes of the development of Turton as well this season. We have to acknowledge this. Obviously he came in and he did make a slow start, to be fair to him. But you know what? He really kept going and worked hard in training, and he's really got speed now, and he's made an impact as well. And like I said, Pippa as well. Like I said,
Tom Lees for me.
Pardon?
Tom Lees has been massive for us.
I think the whole back line has been massive, though. Let's be honest, Tom, because like I say, obviously, it's not the defensive qualities that we've shown this season. It's not down to one play for me. It's all across the back how we've been so organised. But credit to Nichols, by the way, as well, because Nichols organises defence so well, and every single player in that defence knows what they're doing.
He's loud as Nichols. You can hear Nichols from where you're sat in the stadium how loud he is.
Yeah, and like I say, everybody knows what they're doing, knows the jobs, and it just works. We've got that real great team. But I mean, one player. I've kind of covered the whole team here, by the way, and you've kind of covered a few for me as well with likes of Sarr and Cole. So we're not going to cover them now because we've kind of touched upon them. Obviously Rhodes. I mean, Rhodes is one of those that obviously a lot of people doubted when he came in first time, and then he's had a slow start. I'm not going to lie to you because you know, he did have an injury problems and things like that, but now he's had that consistency. Now he's had he's had a few opportunities and got more minutes. We've seen the real Jordan Rhodes, and you know, he plays to his strengths here. I mean, Tom, I'll go to you because obviously, James, I spoke to you kind of earlier about Jordan. What's your thoughts been on Jordan Rhodes this season? Because you never lose your class, do you? And he showed time and time again, especially in that second leg, when the game was really on edge. He has the quality and that moment of brilliance to still win a game for you.
I mean, we know what Rhodes is like. He's a born goal scorer, but I did think he needed, because he had an injury, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, that's what. So yeah, so
I think he needed time to get used to the style, like the pressing work. But every time he's in front of goal, I expect him to score because he's a natural born goal scorer. I mean, his goal at Middlesbrough, that was rolling back the years.
Yeah.
All right. But for me, I think he will be massive in the final, I think, as well.
Yeah, he will. He will. Yeah.
But it's interesting who Carlos will pick, Ward or Rhodes.
Yeah, like I said, we'll go on to that in a moment, and we are going to be there in a moment, by the way. So save them thoughts for that. But like I said, I've kind of got that kind of picture now about John Rhodes and kind of your thoughts about that. Because John Rhodes has been fantastic in the end. He's really contributed, and ultimately he's the guy that got on to the final. So you've got it.
It's going to be big for you guys in the final. I haven't watched him, but like just what I heard of him is class. He's big, he's strong. He won't be a pushover like Jorginho. And so yeah.
He's better than Lukaku this season anyway.
Everyone
is better than Lukaku this season.
But yeah, thanks for that. Obviously, Andrin, like I say, I think he's got one final moment in him. I really do. I feel he's going to be in the final. Obviously, one more game to go for him, and like I say, we don't know if he's going to come back next season or whatever's going to happen to him. But I think he's got one moment left in him. Yeah, I really do, and I won't be surprised to see him, in that final, come up and like I say, get the winner. But we'll have to see. But yeah, we're going to move on. I'm going to go on to Sorba because, like I said, we found out, about 6 days ago, and I'm sure everybody will agree here. The delight, the smile it brought to your face, it really did when we saw that Sorba Thomas has signed an extension. Now, his impact this season has been truly. I've said it time and time again. His impact this season has been incredible. It really has. And like I say, when he came in last January, obviously. Yeah, it took time for him to adapt to the championship, but it's a big jump from the non-league system. It really is. But you know what? In the summer, he's worked hard. He's come back. He's grasped his opportunity when he's got it, and he's never looked back. And yeah, I've kind of said this, kind of thing. I think this is a big boost as well going into that playoff final as well. To have a player like that, really commit his future. I mean. Obviously he's kind of coming to the Wales kind of system as well, obviously getting a few caps for Wales as well. Now, obviously, the extension as well is interesting because obviously it's until 2026, but then we've got an option to extend it a further year as well. Talk to me about Sorba Thomas because there's no superlatives, to describe this guy. He's just been incredible.
Thank goodness he signed this before the playoff final. Get that transfer fee high as he can, because if he goes, we're gonna need 2 players to replace him. In my opinion, if he was to go, if he were to leave in the summer for a Premier League club, if we weren't to make it, we would need 2 players to replace what he offers. The same as if Brian goes, you'd need 2 players in. So it's good that he signed a long contract purely because that's going to drive that fee higher. And obviously, it shows he's happy in the club. And also, I think now as Huddersfield fans, if we sign a player from League 2 or the non-league, we have a bit of hope that maybe we found another diamond that just needs, polishing off. But I mean, I love him, and I feel same as you said about Tino. Sorba's going to create a moment. We will score a corner in the playoff final. I can feel it, and it'll be someone like Toffolo that gets there on the end of it. Hopefully it's early because that's going to be a nervous day. We don't want another Luton. We have to wait till the 80th minute to create something pressure. So I think Sorba will have maybe a set piece, or we've got VAR maybe, and we know he likes to run in the box, and they'll be trying to hack him down. Maybe he'll win us a dodgy pen. Wouldn't it be fitting if he was to get taken down, or a foul from a corner? VAR gives us a penalty, and then someone like Holmes or Rhodes steps up. Chef's kiss. Bring it on.
Absolutely. Tom, do you want to add anything else, or what have your thoughts been on?
He's just world class. I mean, his crossing ability, it meant watching football, his crossing ability is like De Bruyne's crossing. It's just, I mean, when he whips it in, it goes on point. It always goes to one of our players.
Yeah, absolutely. And the amount of football he's played this season as well, and like I say, he started the season off very well. But obviously, winning that Championship Player of the Month award in August, he hit the ground running straight away. And like I say, he's grasped the opportunities. But what a player. There's no word. I just hope we can keep him.
It was the Reading game where he truly announced his arrival to the Championship, because I think he contributed to 3 of the 4 goals, and they just said he was, and especially early in the season. He did well because I don't think managers would have had enough on him to work out the deal with him. He then had a little rough patch when people were doubling up on him, but he then pushed through it quickly, and probably a lot quicker than people expected him. So now he can handle it when people are trying to play him. And if he is kept out of the game, it opens up the gap for someone like Toffolo to come in. And having players like that, it's such a nightmare for managers to prepare against. And credit to the recruitment team and the coaching team as well, because they said they took about 6 months to get him going, and 6 months well spent.
I mean, his goal against Reading, that solo goal, I think sensational.
He's just continued to deliver, hasn't he? The consistency is having. I mean, have you kind of managed to kind of take it, get a few glimpses of this team maybe on highlights or whatever? What? No, you're missing out. You should go and check out his highlights, because I'm telling you, this guy is special, and I'm not just saying because he's special.
How many times have we seen him have the ball, and then against 2 defenders, he just flicks it up over and gets past them? Yeah. It's something you'd see on FIFA. Where does it come from?
It's basically like I do all the time on FIFA. No one can beat me.
Yeah, absolutely. It is truly incredible, really. And like I said, we go back to it again before we get into the Championship Player final.
A bit off topic.
Yeah.
But respect.
Yeah.
Come on, Jose.
I mean, it's one of those that he's just. I've kind of lost my track of thought here, by the way. You've put me off, Hannah. I blame you because I was going to say something and I've forgotten. I mean, like I said, finally, before we go on to the play, let's preview the game in a moment. But let me just put one point out there. Like I said, obviously the man, Carlos Corbin, the way he's turned this ship this season, he really has turned the tide. I mean, I just can't believe. I wouldn't say that I'd ever doubted him, because I never did, because I saw a bigger picture here. Because when he came to the football club last year, obviously, at a time where it was very difficult, what he came into must have been horrendous. It really, but you know what? They've stuck with him. We're not a manager. We're not like Watford and sack managers. When it's not going so well. And we've stuck with him. We've given him a pre-season. We've got players in. That really do fit Huddersfield Town, and it's working. He's just got better and better and better this season. He's learning. He's a new manager. We know he'll make mistakes. But he's still learning. But he's just got better for me. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you'll all agree with this. He's just been.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When you watched him at the start of last season, right? Because people forget, by Christmas we were 8th, 10th, around that area. That was a good position for us. You compare him to when Jan Stewart came in. When Jan Stewart came in, I was like, oh god, what are we? It's a German Alan Pardew. What are we watching here? And it was
the PE teacher, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, but when Carlos took over, you could see. Okay, it didn't always work, but you felt that was more down to personnel, not ideas. And we had, let's not forget, we had an injury meltdown. but so rare. Like, and you see how Liverpool, when they had theirs, they couldn't cope with it last year. So, you know, I thought, okay, yeah, let's get through it. If it happens again, then you've got to look at, right, there's obviously something wrong here. But it hasn't. Like, even when we've had injuries, we've coped, and we haven't had that many injuries, maybe 2 or 3 at a time. And they're normally because of in-game incidents, not, training incidents. And he has shown he's flexible. He's a bit like, going to go to what we said earlier. It reminds me a bit like Jose Mourinho in that he's so good at tactically picking the right
Yeah.
moments, the right way to change it. And I think I said this last time. I'd love to see him go up against Jose, like to see that chess match, the mental, because I don't think he would give in to mind games. I know he's not really been tested on that front yet, and that is probably the next test for him to come through. But I would love to see him go against someone who isn't like. If you look at someone like Klopp and Pep, you know how they're going to come out. But someone like Jose, that where it is a chess game, and I love it because we can be entertaining, exciting, or we can be frustrating to the other team, and I love it. And it means we're hard to pair against. That's something that's going to benefit us come the final because Forest will probably set up their way and go, look, we don't know what we're against here, so just try your best. Whereas Huddersfield will have everything down to a point, and credit to Carlos because that's what puts him above Bielsa in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said there. And like I say, I just love the way he's so focused. He doesn't ever get carried away from a victory, and that'll help in the dressing room. He doesn't allow anybody to get carried away. A win's a win, and then he's focused. As soon as that whistle goes, he focuses on the next one. And that's what he's like. And like I say, tactically, you can see, he's a tactical masterclass magician, genius,
He's the
whatever you want
professor.
to call it.
He's the professor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hannah, what have you kind of? I mean, I don't know if you can comment on this, but kind of obviously Carlos Corberan, what a job he's done, since he's kind of come in. Don't you agree on that one, surely?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. He has done excellent for you guys, and I think you guys can only thank him for what he has done, for you guys. So
Yeah, absolutely. And he's not spent much. We haven't spent much money this season, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if you're aware, but we haven't. We haven't spent hardly any money this season, and he's managed to get a group together that knows what kind of style that they know what they need to do in a game, and he's got his ideas across, and everybody has just come together. You can see that togetherness back at the club as well, and it's just incredible. It's got stronger and stronger as the season's gone on as well. And I've just got no words.
It's just good coaching. I mean, it just shows that we haven't spent anything in football. Some clubs think to be a good team you need all the money, but it's just shown the season good coaching.
Absolutely, and to be honest with you, the thing is with this is having money to spend, like your Fulhams and your Bournemouths. It helps, of course, it helps, but it isn't it doesn't mean just because you spend money, you're guaranteed success. It doesn't work like that.
Saying that, if we get promoted and come back down, I'd like to see us actually use some of the money we get from being in the Premier League. It would make you feel a lot more comfortable going into the start of the season, wouldn't it? If we could actually,
Yeah.
I'm not saying go hell for leather, but if you could just feel a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying to is the vast kind of comparisons, and what the spending has been this season in the Championship. You don't. Like I said, a team like us, we haven't spent much, and we've still managed to finish third. So it's possible if you have all the right attributes to succeed.
I think the most important thing with Carlos and the way the team are gelled is the players respect him and look up to him. When you think about it, he's only a few years older than Hogg, but like the way the players talk about him, they generally look up to him and admire him. And it's like when he speaks, you hang on to every word he says. Like he's just got that X factor about him that he commands the dressing room, and the players don't want to let him down. I would be surprised if, hopefully we want him to stay for a few years. I know with managers they don't last long. If we could get another 3 or 4 years out of him, that'd be great because he's destined for bigger things, I think. But I can't see a way he'd lose a dressing room because he wouldn't put up with a diva or a personality. He knows what he wants to work with.
Absolutely.
And he's someone that I wish I could sit and just talk to him over a meal and just discuss ideas because you in his interviews, he talks fast, so you've got to pay attention. But you hang on to every word
He
he
does
says.
talk fast, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. He makes me laugh, to be honest, in his press conferences and when he comes out to games, to be honest with you. But he's just so honest. You never see him disrespect an opponent. You don't. You just see him being honest, and that's what I like about him as well. You see managers this season, and they just come out with that. So, but he's just what a guy. I mean, yeah, there's no. But yeah, I'm getting speechless. I'm probably gonna But anyway. So here we are. We're finally at the main topic of conversation, like I say, this evening, and we know the magnitude of this game. It is the biggest game of them all. It really is, and it's getting closer by the day. I am starting to feel quite nervous and excited even more. But yeah, I mean, we're going to focus on our opponents first. So obviously, let's kind of speak about them first of all. I mean, let's kind of put this into perspective. Obviously, Nottingham Forest were bottom of the league with 1 point from 7 games when Steve Cooper took over as head coach, obviously in September. But following his arrival, it's just been a complete and utter incredible run. It really has, and it's going to be a great final. With two teams that are great in the really highest of form kind of books kind of thing, if you could say so. So it's going to be an entertaining final. But yeah, Hannah, I'm going to come to you first, by the way, with Nottingham Forest. I mean, what are your thoughts on them as a team and kind of the job that Steve Cooper's done since he's come in has been incredible? Don't you agree with that one?
So I don't know. I think I know more about Huddersfield than Forest, but
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
But
I mean, but yeah, like I said, I've kind of said that obviously the transformation since he's come in, it's been incredible, because obviously they were really struggling, but the fact that he's managed to really, go on this run.
Yeah, I think Forest are almost like their season has almost been like yours. In the beginning of the season, they were a bit iffy. Just correct me if I am wrong. And they were a bit iffy, but then they kickstarted on. Then there were some bumps in the road again. Then they won against Arsenal. Then they went on a bit of a run, and then again a few bumps, and then just went full throttle to the end. And unfortunately, they couldn't make the top three. A few results not going their way at the end of the season. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and like I say, let's kind of pass it over to obviously James and Tom, whoever wants to kind of chip in here. But let's talk about their plays. Obviously, Brendan Johnson's one of the ones that have been kind of pinpointed to kind of watch out for in this game.
Spence as well, their win back, Spence.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to come on to that in a moment. Jed Spence, which I was just about to say, as you said. Samba, their goalkeeper as well. So these key players, alongside a great kind of setup at Forest and the players they've got across the pitch as well. But yeah, I mean, James, what have you thought about Nottingham Forest this season as a whole, and kind of the job that Steve Cooper's done? It has been fantastic.
Oh, I think Steve Cooper's done a great job of them. They were only 9 points off the playoffs. If you look at it like that, it does make the run less impressive. But again, similar to us, they just seem. I think the playoff final is like the unstoppable force meets the unmovable object. They seem to just keep going, whereas we don't budge. I think the advantage for Huddersfield going against Forest is Steve Cooper's very not stubborn, but he likes to do it his way. So tactically, I think that could favour Huddersfield because we'll prepare to take on and we've seen them more than any other team this season because we had them in the FA Cup. Touchwood doesn't go to penalties, but this could be the first penalty shootout we get to where there's more saves and goals. Looking at how their one with Sheffield went and Lee Nichols' record of penalties, there's no part of the game where you look at and think that could benefit us, which is if you're a neutral, going to make a great game. for us in the stands, it's going to be a long afternoon. But you know,
Yeah,
I will say, obviously, I know there's a bit of banter going on between the fans, but if Forest do win, fair play to them. It wouldn't be a fluke, and good luck to them in the Prem. And they're not a team They're not a team I think. Oh, they're in the Prem. Like, good luck to them. Obviously, I want to beat them, but I'm looking forward to it. And I think the rivalry is, I'm enjoying it because it adds a bit extra something to the game, doesn't it? And that always makes it more fun and more tense. And I've got someone at work as a Forest fan, so it's getting exciting now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tom, what have you made of Forest this season? Kind of Steve Cooper as well, and the players they've got as well. They've got some real quality in there, don't you? Like I say, you mentioned Spence as one.
I think Cooper's done brilliantly since he came in. I mean, when he got appointed, I thought like, oh, is it going to be one of them? But I think the player that's actually surprised me for them is James Garner, who was on loan from Man United.
Yeah,
because his previous spells when he's been on loan, he wasn't being so good. But I think he's been their key to their midfield. But yeah, they've got a good squad. I mean, like James said, if they beat us, I won't be too down about it because I know we would have lost to a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever comes out on top deserves to be, deserves to get promoted. I kind of echo kind of the Force, like I said.
But the fans are deluded. Some Forest fans are.
Some of them
Forest fans are very deluded.
And embarrassing as well, because they are embarrassing themselves, the way they're carrying on. But anyway.
Do I already think they're in Premier League already?
Yeah, I'm not kind of going to get into that really, to be honest with you, because, I just kind of full focus really is on us and what we can kind of do. Like I say, social media can be, let's say a very kind of toxic place sometimes. But kind of looking at us then, again, obviously, we've kind of covered Forest now, and kind of, but before I come on to us though, kind of what kind of game do you think we kind of should expect in this one? Because like I say, it is two teams that are in, really good form. It's going to be very entertaining. I kind of think it's going to be kind of, end to end a bit. What's everybody's thoughts about that kind of thing? How do you think the pan out?
What I don't want to happen is us to sit back. I don't want that.
I don't think Carlos will do that in this one because he knows that you can't afford to do that in this kind of match, this game.
I think it's going to be end to end stuff. I think we're both going to attack from first whistle, and you are going to see goals. I think.
So where's the match going to be won and lost then? By the way, I'm going to put that.
I think
midfield. I think in the midfield it's going to be won.
Go on. Yeah.
I think it'll be end to end, but not bam, 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 bam. I think it'll be a 20-minute period of domination from one team, and then the momentum will swing, and then there'll be half time, and then it'll be one team. And I think it's going to be a bit like that, where it's going to keep. It won't be shot. It'll be right. We've got to see out these 10 minutes because they're putting us under the cosh. Then we get a corner, and it'll keep going. And it's just going to. I think it'll be like 1-1 or 2-1. You're looking at that region. I don't think it's going to be like a 5-goal thriller. I think it'll be a corner from us, a break from them. And it's going to be which I think midfield's going to be important. I think you're going to need O'Brien and Russell to, really dig the heels in. And remember, it's the last game of the season. They're going to give it everything. There's fitness and that isn't going to count for this now because you'll be finding that extra momentum to keep going. And it's going to come down to, we've seen it before, how many times where you go, oh, they really should have scored that. It's going to come down to who can take that one moment. And I would trust Jordan Rhodes to take that moment for us.
Absolutely, well said.
He only needs one chance. That's all he needs.
Yeah, he does. But I'm just going to get Hanno in for the final because, like I say, he needs to leave in a moment. So Hanno, what are your final thoughts about this one? And like I say, you kind of take it away and kind of give your thoughts on anything, kind of obviously this final and in general, kind of what you thinking.
For me, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be also a tight one. I don't think it's going to be end to end. I think it's going to be very tactical. So depends which of the two managers are more tactically astute. And in that battle, I think I would back your guys' manager tactically because I'll just seen the two Luton games. We changed it and everything. And then, of course, you must you took your chances versus Luton. Just take it, and you win. Just take your chances.
Easy as
Just
that.
take it. Because you guys took your chances versus Luton. Of course, they didn't. And they paid the price for it. And so just make sure, take your chances, and make sure you don't let Forest dominate. Because that's what Arsenal did. They sat back, let Arsenal dominate, and boom, they got put in a spliff. So yeah, that's my final thoughts. I still don't know who to back. Do I want to go with the European champions or with Huddersfield? But it all depends on the day. If
Come on, Hanno, you've got to give us
Yeah, come on, buddy.
before you go.
but
not
if
much
I have to give a score prediction, it's probably going to be 2-1 Huddersfield. 2-1 Huddersfield.
Yes, go on.
Yeah.
Get in.
Well, that is a
Late minute, 82nd minute goal from Levi Colwell.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. That'll be
And
very
assisted by Tino Antron. Throw some Chelsea stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Two Chelsea stars. But yeah, as always, Hannah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great to speak to you, and thank you for your time. But yeah, take care, and we'll be in touch soon for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Hopefully the result goes your guys' way. Yeah, we will
Thank
speak
you, pal.
soon.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Cheers.
Yeah, but
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Right, goodbye. But yeah, bless him. Such a great guy. I know, kind of come across him on YouTube, and he's just such a great guy to speak to.
Speaks well as well.
Yeah. Like, it's obviously English isn't his first language, so he does speak very well. For like I say. But yeah, great guy. So yeah, I want to touch upon something that I actually forgot to mention. Actually, how do you? I like the idea of obviously taking the players away from all the hype in Huddersfield and taking them away to Portugal before this final, because I think it will really help them in many factors. By the way, in terms of like I say, take themselves out of all the excitement that's surrounding the town at the moment, which will help. The fitness wise as well will really help in Portugal, and also I just think that for that team morale, I know it's been so strong this season, but that togetherness will be even more so come Sunday for me, because that kind of it's not a holiday in Portugal, but it allows the players to team bond a lot more, because obviously the more kind of obviously they live together kind of thing throughout that time. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that, kind of what I've said, and do you think it does make a big difference doing that? And I think the club have got it right, to be honest with you.
It's worked before. We've seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know what Forest have done in their prep. I've not kept an eye on it really. I don't know if they've done anything or announced anything, but yeah, it's taken them out of almost the bubble, because I wonder if they were allowed to look at social media, because I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Wagner said he banned them all from looking at Twitter or Facebook or something in the build up to it. I know someone did something like that where they weren't allowed to see what was being said about them. So I wouldn't be surprised if a similar policy is implemented. But yeah, it's like they've gone to another world. They can, they've got nice weather. I think being away from the typical English weather is just going to be good for morale. There'll be no blue depression. So yeah, and they're going to come back not so much refreshed because they're working hard, but
Yeah.
I think they're going to really be up for it. And
Yeah.
I know it's a playoff final, both teams are, but I don't know. It just feels like the buzz around Huddersfield. It feels like the whole club's there. Whereas with the Forest, it just feels like it's their fans. I haven't seen that connection between the club and the fans. And they were shaky in that second leg. Let's not act like they were dominant. They
Sheffield
were
United
vulnerable.
had a rocked in that second half as well.
Yeah.
So it just shows if we can go at them and attack them, who knows?
I think if Forest aren't winning at half time, that'll get to them more than it would get to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tom, how kind of crucial do you see this trip away to Portugal, and how do obviously I just think it's really positive. I think it's a great idea.
Well, I think because they're already close together, it just brings them closer more, and the families
Yeah.
have gone away with them. And I think it's a good idea because they're away from the UK press as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, how would so let's kind of look at the kind of lineups then for this one, because this game is getting closer and we're starting to think who's going to be in that starting lineup come.
I think you've got to put Schofield in goal for this time. It's really been building up for that.
That's a 10-0 loss then, isn't it?
Oh no, Ryan Schofield. I love you, by the way. I think you're a great guy. I think it's just not worked out so far. You just need a bit more confidence. So yeah, joking aside, I mean, how do you see us setting up in this one? Because surely Sorba has to come in for sure and start now. And I mean, to be honest with you, we've had pretty much settled side all season. To be honest, I mean, I know there's been a lot of rotation, but more often than not, apart from a few changes, we've kind of had a strong kind of side. Kind of what formation would you go in this one? How would you go tactically with this one? And what kind of play? Like I say, give me your lineups for this one. I'm just intrigued to know what you want to see. Who starts?
I'd go 4-3-3. Nichols in goal. Pippa, Lees, Colwell, Toth, O'Brien, Hogg, Russell in the midfield, Siani, Ward, Sorba up front.
Good stuff. I mean, James, are you kind of what kind of thing are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking 4-3-3. Nichols, obviously, with Colwill, Lees, and Hogg as your back three. I'm going 3-4-3. Sorry, I should have said.
Yeah, free from.
They're going as your back three. I'd go Turton and Toffolo because I'd want
Gingy
Toffolo to
Cafu.
attack. Yeah, I'd want Turton on because it provides he's fit, of course. I just think he provides, and he can come in as a fourth defender if Toffolo wants to go on an adventure. O'Brien and Russell for your attacking and defensive midfield. Thomas, Ward to start.
Yeah.
With Rhodes coming on at about the 65th, 70th minute mark, unless Ward is playing like Messi. Holmes?
Ooh.
I don't know. Because I think with Holmes, I wouldn't want Holmes coming off the bench. But also, Tino. Could Tino be fit to play the whole game? He's had an extra 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
But it's like that position, is the hard one. But I think it will be Sonani, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But I think if Tino's fit, play him from the start and give Forest something else to think about early on.
Because they won't know much about Timo at all.
No, I think bring him on, let him start if he can. Again, though, if he doesn't, he's going to come on if we need him to.
Yeah.
But if he's fit, let him start because you can always bring your Sonani, Karoma, Holmes on later on, where Forest are going to start getting cagey, and you've got these fresh legs. Because I think we are fitter than Forest. I think if they haven't got that early lead, they will start feeling the pressure more than we will. I think if we were, I would trust us more to come back from 1-0 down at half time than Forest probably trust themselves to come down from 1-0.
Yeah.
If they're not winning at half time, I think it'll affect them more than it would affect us. Because we seem to be better when we're chasing the game. I don't know, it's an odd one like that.
Yeah, I kind of get that kind of feeling as well. I mean, like I said, my lineup is exactly the same as you, James. Apart from, I think that I would potentially, I wouldn't start Holmes because, like I said, anyone that knows me knows that I'm not a big fan of him.
You're not keen on Holmes, are you?
No. So I think I'd give. I mean, the thing is, I'm saying Tino, but then I'm thinking to myself, will he make more of an impact from the bench? Kind of. I'm just not sure. I mean, but yeah, I think I'm going to go Tino in that position. But I mean, Karoma is an option. I know that he's not been that great this season, but Karoma is still an option that could provide that.
He has looked sharp in Portugal as Karoma, to be honest.
Yeah, because he's got that quality still. So it's a difficult one, it really is, but it's a good, kind of thing. But yeah, I think
with Karoma, he's going to take his shots. He'll be putting, and even if they're not going in, it'll make Forest start panicking. Right, we've got someone coming in here, and if they start focusing on stopping Karoma taking his lucky shots, All right, Echo. I
I
didn't
mean,
ask you, but I think
does
if
Pearson start? Because Pearson's been training,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
is Pearson going to be in the frame here as well? Yeah,
I think put Pearson on the bench and use him later on if we need to show up. I don't think he's got that game fitness. Like you look, Colwell, Sarr, and Lees have seen out the season. You let them see it out. This is not the time to take risks with injuries. You know who's fit. You know who's been playing. Let him sit on the bench if needed to and shore it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. That to be fair, so yeah, definitely, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I don't like doing score predictions, but I feel like I should be doing it. But I've kind of been. I'll go first because I think that I should do. But I think I've got to back us. I really am because I just think Carlos has got the edge. Tactically, I think arguably he's always got a different play. He can change it up a bit if he needs to. We've seen it against Luton many times this season. To be honest with you. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 to us. Now I think it's going to be a game that finishes in normal time. By the way, I think it'll be done in 90 minutes. What's your thoughts, James, on this? And in your,
I'm going 2-1 Huddersfield, but I think it's going to go to extra time.
right.
I think we're going to score first from a corner. Then they'll hit us when we're trying to soak up the pressure, and then there'll be a moment of magic in the second half of extra time to see it through. We do not want penalties again. We do not need that at all. But yeah, I think 2-1, but I've got a feeling it's going to go extra time because it's Huddersfield. Nothing is straightforward with us.
Yeah, very true, very true. Tom, what are you thinking for this one? Yeah.
1-0 to us. Jonathan Hogg, 90th minute winner.
That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful, and scenes and limbs at the same time. It would be incredible. But I'm not going to forget this question that was posted earlier, by the way, by like I said, the Added Time podcast. Yeah, I mean, he's been very positive here, and I love this positivity. Where realistically, would you think we could finish next season with the?
I see going one of two ways. I see us building a team, a good championship team, finishing 20th, 19th, scraping wins, or being completely under the radar. Carlos pulls masterclass, and we get like 12th out of nowhere, and then it'd be a case of please no second season syndrome. I don't think we'd have a 17th. We've just done it. It's going to be a long season, but at least we're in a good position. Or oh my god, we're mid-table.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Tom, what are your thoughts on this? If we do go,
I'd say 16th.
Yeah.
Something like 16th, 17th, and then after second season we could build on it again and see if we can finish 11th or 10th.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm kind of going to go with the I just think that we've got a group here that has got quality. Obviously, we need to add more quality in this in the summer if we do go up. But I think we've got a good base here to work with, and I think we've got an absolutely incredible magician manager that just continues to get better and better. I think he'll hit the ground running in the Premier League, and I think
Carlos would be a big advantage because again, I hope he goes with the same mentality of no targets, no limits. Every game is competitive. We shouldn't fear City. We shouldn't fear Liverpool. He'll go in and go. We try and win this, and I'd prefer that. I'd like if we're going to go down, let's go down fighting our way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that obviously when we were first in the Premier League, we kind of give teams too much respect at times. We really did, and you've got to give respect, but not too much. So yeah, we have to hold our own in the Premier League, and and like I say, good points there, to be honest with you. But yeah, thank you for that question. But yeah, it's certainly going to be absolutely a special day. I always love going to Wembley. I don't know about you guys, but it's such a special day from the moment you wake to the day to when you get there. That build up as well when you arrive, and then when the players come out, it's just goosebumps. It really is.
Only 40 minutes for me as well, so that's excellent on train.
Oh, you're lucky first. No, we've got a few hours to travel up here.
Yeah, I've got quite a long. I think I've got further than Ryan to go. To be fair,
not by far though, Tom. Surely only be like
no, not that far. But that's not bad. 40 minutes away. Wow.
Live in Peterborough, so after Old Trafford, it was a painful few times. few weeks.
Yeah.
Your coach is kind of trying to wind us up here with, saying that we won't actually get the loan players that we've kind of obviously. I think he's most talking about the Chelsea ones. But yeah, like I said, I think that obviously if we do go up, I think Cole will definitely come back. And Andrew, I mean, I don't really know about Andrew, to be honest, because he really just has to assess the options here because, in all fairness, he has been injured, for most of his time here, so we can't really judge him, but it's a big gamble to bring him back next season. I mean, he showed glimpses, but he's just not. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure about him, but
I think with Siani, haven't we got an option to buy it in that season as well?
Sinani we do. But what I'm saying to is that I think Sinani will most likely sign for us because I think he'll know that he'll come here and kind of there's more definite yes. I think he will come back. In a permanent deal for me. But we'll have to see. But yeah, like I say, the countdown has been on for a week now for me.
I just can't wait now. It's just going to be such a long next few days.
It really is. But you know what? I just think we should point this out, and we'll be doing a review on this game, hopefully with all smiley faces in the next, obviously in the days after that. Yeah, I think that no matter what happens, and I'm sure you'll all agree, what a special season this has been, and we can be proud of these players, the manager, everybody in that football club have done themselves proud. We're proud of them, that connection, that incredible team spirit. We never expect to be in this position, like we say. Never in our wildest dreams do you think it was.
Never.
So you know what? Let's go out there on Sunday. Give it a good go, which I know we will do.
Just give it our all and just fight for every blade of grass. That's what we can do.
Absolutely.
I just want to go and be able to enjoy the game. Even if we lose, I'll be there to applaud the team and let's go with that. It's our last game of a good season. Let's enjoy it. Let's just enjoy the occasion.
Absolutely. Like I said, let's hope the sun is shining. Because remember last time at Wembley it was shining. So, but yeah, we can't wait to be heading to Wembley on Sunday for the Championship playoff final. Harper's Ford kickoff. We'll be there and we'll be cheering on the lads for sure. And yeah, like I said, the atmosphere will be very special from both sets of fans. So yeah, it'll be intriguing to see how this one pans out. I'm really praying, hoping, whatever you want to say about us getting the result, because we've shown time and time again this season that we find a way to win. Always, we seem to find a way to win.
If we win and go up, and on your preview show, I'll come on it and just sing a load of songs about it.
Well, that is okay, Danny. I'll be joining you. But yeah, we want to be because I think I'll be emotional either way. Because I think that if we don't go, I will be quite good. I will. But if we go up, if we go up, it'll be emotional as well. Because I remember crying when we went up last time. I have no shame in saying that because it just means a lot to me. We have unfinished business to do in the Premier League. We really do. And
the last playoff final was the first time I've hugged a random stranger just for no reason. Like it was just
I think I kissed one of the stewards on his forehead when we went up last time. I did because I was drunk as well because we nerves. I didn't know who it was. I apologise afterwards. I was like, whew.
Well, we'll see you in court for those sexual harassment claims.
The emotions of the playoffs, it's just incredible. The emotional roller coaster it takes, it's just incredible. But yeah, like I say, guys, thank you so much for being with me this evening.
No worries.
It's been great to kind of review kind of the season again and kind of look at individual kind of topics, but also look ahead to this massive match on Sunday. But yeah, we can only hope and pray that we will come out on top here. We deserve to come out on top before we've even played, in my opinion, because we have had we finished third. We finished third, and like I said, we're still going under the radar. That's the way we like it, by the way. Going under the radar suits us down. I won't have it any other way, to be honest with you. Let everybody talk about Forest and everything else. I'm not really bothered. We just have to focus on ourselves and continue to defy the odds, and we'll have hopefully have the last laugh on Sunday. And hopefully it'll be a long night celebrating, and I won't really
very long night. Yeah, a long day.
By the time I get back, I won't care. I'll just be buzzing. But we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, good luck to the team. I'm sure you're wishing my good. Kind of everybody else is kind of wishing the good luck as well. if you're watching, I don't know if you're watching any town play. I know you're in Portugal, but you could maybe come across YouTube and kind of see my video. Good luck, boys. Good luck, and good luck, Carlos, and
Good luck,
everybody.
boys.
Like I said, as always, thank you everybody for joining in the chat as well. By the way, it's been great. Like I said, the Added Time podcast has been making me laugh throughout the evening, that's for sure. And yeah, it's been great that everybody that's kind of come on. But yeah, thanks as always to my guests Tom and James. Who knows? We may bump into each other at Wembley. You don't know, but yeah, it'd be great to kind of do
you
that.
don't know, do you?
But yeah, up the town and come on, you Terriers. Let's do this on
Come
Sunday.
on, let's do it.
Let's do it. But yeah, as always, I will be back in the next few days. I'm thinking about maybe doing an England kind of reaction to the team, maybe in the coming days. But yeah, I'll speak to everybody soon. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. By the way, don't forget about. I nearly forgot. Please don't forget to smash the like button if you like what you
subscribe as well.
And subscribe. I'm nearly at 50 subscribers.
Turn that notification bell on.
Yeah, of course.
Turn that.
Well, I love it. I love the promotional. But yeah, like I said, I'm so close to 50 subscribers. It may not seem a lot to some people, but it is. It's that first step, that first milestone you reach is really special. So yeah, I would really appreciate anybody's help to get me there. I'm hoping to get there in the next 2 days, but we don't know what will happen. But yeah, I'll appreciate everybody. Like I said, don't forget to follow me on my socials, Ryan Maver TV on Instagram and Twitter. Give me a follow, and yeah, you'll never miss anything that's happening. You will always see it on my profile. So yeah, anyway, I'm waffling on. Goodbye, everybody, and I shall see you on the next one.